Tim, I need some sparklers. I need more sparklers. How many sparklers can you get me?
Wait, why do you need sparklers? And why is the clock counting down? It sounds like it's about to blow up.
I mean, well, yeah.
But the sparklers? Why?
I'm putting on a death match over here, man.
Oh, we hit 3, 2, 1. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to As the Buckle Turns. I mean, it's not predictions, but follow-up review.
Yeah, review. Sure, that works.
Okay.
I'm half asleep over here, and I have to go to work in a few hours.
I'm Adam.
I'm Tim.
I am the champion. It's back.
My bad. I made a mistake. The future Hall of Famer, Tim Green.
No. No, your career has not been that good.
Yes, it has. I've been a multi-time predictions champion.
You've had weak competition.
That's true. I've had very weak competition.
But me beating you, that moves me right up the ranks.
Not by much.
Anyway.
Yes, Adam is the new predictions champion.
Yes.
Beating me by one match.
Exactly. That's all it takes. Inch or a mile, man. Win's a win.
You like to quote that way too much.
It's a good quote.
I think it has something to do with something much, much smaller down below.
Millimeter or 2 millimeters. Doesn't matter. A dick's a dick.
Wow. You're never going to hit that G-spot.
No. It's okay.
Anyway, today we're going to be going over the review of AEW Revolution.
Which, honestly...
Did it sizzle or did it fizzle?
You know what? We'll answer that question later on.
If I remember to by the time we get done.
But I missed out on the pre-show.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
Nothing on the main card came close to the surprise on the pre-show, the buy-in.
What?
Nothing.
What was?
Not even the debut. I mean, we got Makito coming out and wrestling. The cutest wrestler in the world.
I don't know about cutest, but she definitely does. She brings a certain energy, motherfuckers.
Yes, she does. Anna. No one's going to replace Anna.
No one can ever replace Anna.
What's up, motherfuckers? Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was great on BTE.
I was like, thanks, guys, for fangirling.
Fangirling all over Maki.
I love how Dark Order started out as something very serious.
Yes, it did.
And John Silver and Uno clearly have just been like, we can just be weird.
Yeah.
You know that. We could just be like a brotherhood. You know,
being serious isn't working
club.
out for us, so why don't we just be weird?
We're just going to be weird.
There we go. But yeah, it was the pre-show was pretty good. The surprise of Maki Ito coming out and wrestling with Britt Baker was a nice little touch because it's supposed to be Rebel. But Rebel was apparently attacked by Nyla Rose.
Oh, no.
So she wasn't able to compete. And Tony Khan, that bastard,
Yes,
forced the match to happen. But Britt Baker was prepared, and she had a special guest. And the cutest wrestler in the world comes out, sings her entrance music. And as always, and watching her trying to keep the earpiece in her ear so she could sing along with it, like it was kind of funny. They did a little too many close-ups when she's trying to hold that thing in her ear as she's trying to get in the ropes.
it happens.
Oh yeah, but it's like, but her coming out.
So, I mean,
great.
if you ever see Justin Roberts getting in and out of the ring, he does it as well.
Well, yeah, because he's just making sure it doesn't fall out when he turns his head. It's understandable. But she actually was putting it in her ear.
Oh, okay.
And then trying to, but it's fine. First time live. The fans didn't even fucking care. They were just happy to see the star of the Japanese bracket make a surprise entrance.
Right after she was announced to be part of the bracket in general, her Twitter followers skyrocketed in the U.S.
Oh, yeah, because they're like, who's this?
Who is this? And we're checking her out.
And then they realized who she was, and like, oh, that's awesome.
This is a good character. We like this.
And she constantly throughout the matchup, she's flicking people off.
Yes,
it was great. This Joshi girl who looks like a schoolgirl,
flipping everyone off,
flipping people off, saying like a motherfuckers. Was
in the mouth of a sailor.
Yeah. Riho's in there.
Yep.
Thunder Rosa was in there. Britt Baker. It was great. Britt Baker won, which we were wrong on.
Yeah.
Because we were basing off of Rebel being in there.
Rebel.
Because it's either Rebel, Reba, or Rebel, or Reba. So I'm just going to Rebel.
Okay.
Rebel.
You're just going to give her all the names.
All the names. Because apparently that's what they do in AEW now.
Well, yeah.
Because one day it's Pentagon Jr., next is El Patron, or whatever it is. No, that's Alberto Del Rios. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for confusing with that bastard. Penta. Yes. Please don't come and chop me and kill me.
Penta El Zero.
Yeah.
Penta El Zero Mero.
It's one.
Pentagon Jr.
It constantly needs to be changing. So you know what? Rebel, Reba, whatever. But she came out with a crutch. She used that to hit Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
So she could Britt Baker get the win, which was great because Britt Baker's getting a big win here. So does Makito.
I do like the fact that she forgets to sell the injury, and it's just like, you know what? Nah, I don't really have an injury.
Yeah.
It was a stupid excuse to have,
Because then they had a post. And then later in the card, we had that post beatdown later on.
Yeah.
So, which we'll get to when we get to the women's matchup.
All right.
So the main card opened, surprisingly, with the AEW World Tag Team Championship matchup. The Young Bucks versus MJF and Chris Jericho.
Yeah. I was really surprised that we're kicking off with that.
Yeah, so was I. We predicted either the ladder match or the Rumble.
Yes.
But... So this was a good back and forth matchup. Nice playing off each other.
Mm-hmm.
But it came down to the Young Bucks winning.
Of
which
course.
Makes sense. More experienced actual tag team versus a team that just came together. Duh.
Exactly.
And it was also to help build towards the Inner Circle War Council this past week on Dynamite. Which was a great little twist because it was just when MJF was taking over the Inner Circle.
The entire Inner Circle was like we were in we know that.
Sammy Guevara returned, and then MJF said, "Oh, I should have known, but I was a little too busy, building my own faction and having the debut of the Six Horsemen."
All six of them.
All six of them. But no, the matchup was really good. I didn't think no one thought that they were gonna win here.
No.
There's more interesting stories with the Young Bucks being the champions.
Yes.
Especially with what happened in the Battle Royal, which was next.
Hold on, let me get to it. Wait. there it is. Okay, I'm in it. Okay, which we were both wrong on.
Yes, we did, but we were right, kind of right, because we all knew John Silver and Alex Winters were coming out last.
Yes,
we all knew that. But it came down to Ray Phoenix and Pac of the Death Triangle winning it, which came down to the final four of Pac and Ray Phoenix to Jungle Boy and John Silver.
I was so hyped that John Silver was still in there. I was like, yes!
Oh,
so many great spots in there, too.
I figured he was going to be one of the last eliminations after all, anyway.
And I gotta say, Rumbles are the craziest thing ever.
Yeah.
But they did such a good job of having everyone be able to get a spot.
Yeah.
Like, the Guns... oh god, why do I not remember that tag team right now?
Yeah, the Gun Club.
Yes.
Yep. Coming in, the apparently the heel turn.
There we go.
Of QT Marshall, getting upset with Dustin, who after he eliminated people who from the Nightmare family, and then jumped over and eliminated himself.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool. There's some great spots there, great matchup, But yeah, it was a great showing for John Silver in the end. Also for Jungle Boy when it came down to the final two of him and Ray Phoenix. And the possibility that Ray Phoenix actually eliminated himself when he jumped out after Jungle Boy.
Yes.
And
they're like, nope, between the ropes.
What's her name? I can't think of her name.
Audrey Edwards.
Audrey Edwards comes in like, no, came through here. Like, it's like, and the rest like, nope, still in. And when you do the replay, he comes out so fast, it's no wonder why the ref thought.
He was like, I don't know if he went over or through.
I think he went over, like,
but I got to call this as I see it.
I thought I saw it, but no. But yeah, it was a great showing by Jungle Boy, but we knew it was going to be Ray Phoenix in the end, which is a great little matchup. Pac and Ray Phoenix are now the number one contenders for the tag titles.
Exactly.
It's going to be interesting to see where this goes going forward, and how that is. But that should be a good little matchup. And then next matchup is... Oh, by the way, who had the most eliminations out of the teams?
Inner Circle had 3.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, when Adam's looking this up, I have to express my disappointed in the Dark Order.
Okay.
Who had 4 teams in there, and they couldn't pull off a fucking win. What's wrong with you, Dark Order?
Oh,
I smell
here's the best part. Here's the best part. Grand total from Dark Order between all 3 teams. Yeah, 3 teams were in, not 4. They only have 3.
Oh, 3 teams in, and you couldn't get it done.
They had a total of 2 eliminations. Yeah. Silver and Reynolds were the guys who got eliminations.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. Stu was quickly out, which was funny. When he got tossed out, his reaction was like, what? But yes, it was a good matchup. All right, next matchup on the card.
Oh, you wanted to know the most?
Yes.
That is Jurassic Express. Jungle Boy had 5 eliminations.
Oh, yeah.
Luchasaurus had 3.
Okay.
They had a total of 8.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that's good. Nice little showing for them. And Jungle Boy being the last.
And Death Triangle tied with them.
Okay.
They both had 8.
Okay. Makes sense. All right. So what's the next matchup on the card?
Matchup number 4. Gonna switch around. Move who? Oh, it's the Women's Championship.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This was another surprise that it was so early in the matchup.
Where I got the edge on you.
Yes, this is where Adam won because I went with Maki Ito.
Yep. No, you went
Ryo. Maki Ito was from the pre-show, the buy-in.
Yeah, you went with somebody who wasn't even in the match.
Yeah.
Congratulations. No, it was Ryo Mizunami.
Yes.
You went with Ryo. I went with Shida. Shida won.
Yeah, Shida won. Once the matchup came up, and I saw that the storyline they were going with for this matchup was that Ryo told Shida that even if she wrestles for 100 years, she'd never be able to beat her.
Yeah.
I'm like, she was winning.
Yep.
God damn you, AEW. I gotta pay attention to
it. It was a hard-hitting match.
Yeah, it was a good matchup.
Yes,
though. This was a really good showing for both women here. After Shida won, the worst thing possible that could have happened, Nyla Rose came down and attacked Shida.
Yep.
Then attacked Ryo.
Yep.
And then Britt Baker
Yep.
and Maki Ito came down, which helped things a much better because Britt Baker and Maki Ito came out. And then Thunder Rosa ran out to help and chase them off. Basically, this angle was there to show these are the 6 women are probably going to be the focus of the women's division, assuming that Maki Ito is going to stick around.
Yes.
And be used more often. Now that travel restrictions seem to be easing.
Eased?
Because even Jordan Devlin, who's the actual Cruiserweight champion in NXT, has been teased to be coming back to do a unification with Sombrero, however his name is, who's the interim champion. So it'll be interesting to see, but they missed one person. One other person should have come out.
Who?
One other person.
Who?
Riho should have been out there.
Yep. Nope.
Because she's back.
She's been left off from this altogether. She's not part of the division anymore.
How dare you say that? Riho is awesome. Especially since Maki Ito has never beaten her, and it's just hilarious to see those two face each other.
Oh, I need that to continue.
Oh, by the way, when
Yes.
Riho came out for the tag team match on the buy-in, the fans were so happy to see her back. So I was just like, yeah, the fans remember her.
All right. Next up is the tag team match of Miro and Kip Sabian against the best friends, Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy.
Yes, and this matchup started abruptly when Miro attacked them behind stage with Kip Sabian, attacking Orange Cassidy, laying him out, and then dragging a bloody, cut up Chuck, who's from going through the window, beating him up, only for Orange Cassidy eventually to stumble out the face entrance, plop down on the stage,
lay there for 5 minutes,
and then Miro got down off the apron, walked up there like he was gonna finish him off, only for Orange Cassidy to spring back up, hit the orange punch, and Miro fucking sold it.
He did.
He was acting like he was dazed and he was down. It was awesome, and I'm glad to also say this, that Miro is helping Kip know his priorities. Sorry, your wife got. I threw someone into your wife. You get up here, you tag me in so I can win the match.
Yeah.
The match is the priority, not your wife.
No.
The match. Good job, Miro. You teach him that.
Exactly.
But here it was, Miro won his first pay-per-view matchup, which is good. So it will be interesting to see where they go from this, but because apparently they're going to have an arcade matchup where if Chuck loses with another tag matchup, he will be Miro's butler forever.
So Chuck is going to win this one.
I'm assuming so, but you could have just not had this feud continue and just moved on to something else and come back to it later.
Yeah.
But clearly this was supposed to be where Trent was supposed to have a big part of this one, so they're just using Orange as a substitute.
Okay.
But
Orange Cassidy is so OP.
I know.
You know, you saw that punch.
I know.
And what it did to Miro. Can you imagine if he just started running across the ring, back and forth, doing that over and over again?
Miro would be dead and Orange would be
Exactly.
in jail.
Exactly. It would never be able to continue.
So, but this was Miro's most dominant looking ever, and leanest I've seen him in a very long time, which is great to see him really taking to the character of the best man. And he's starting to get a little fed up with Kip and everything. Like, no, win the match. This is the important part. Like, it's really cool to see that.
Yeah.
As Ollie Davis said, make him a singles wrestler now. And I'm like, I like him with Kip.
Yeah.
The whole point is to help get Kip a rub that after last year where they weren't using him as much because he had so much new talent.
Right.
This is to help give Kip some wins and a rub and use the storylines so the next year they can actually kind of push him into that, use him in a different direction and all these things. So it's fine to use Miro because the best way to do that is because you keep him away from singles titles. Yes, we want him in there.
Oh, of course.
But that's the thing. You have so many talent now. You have to balance it. And if you can build Miro up, so when he does go for gold and wins it, it's like, finally.
Yes.
But
plus, you also have to balance out who's the best person for Miro to go over to win that championship to get the best pop from the crowd.
Exactly. All right. What's the next matchup on the card?
Next up is the first quarter earnings of Matt Hardy are on the line. Also, I mean, Adam Page's first quarter earnings are on the line too. But
so the big money matchup.
The big money really isn't from Adam.
No. So this was the letdown on the card, and when I say letdown, it was still a good match.
It's a good match,
but
I loved it.
Matt Hardy is so beaten up. Just looking at the card,
he does not move. Okay,
if you look at the image for the matchup and you see how he's posing, you can just see his head. He's just standing in an awkward way.
You know who else also has that movement?
Who?
Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, I know,
but
not as bad.
No, it's not as bad, but like, you know that it's a lower back hip issue.
Oh yeah,
and sometime soon, Matt's going to have like hardcore surgery regarding it.
Yeah, it's just like, it was hard to see. Look at that film, like, yeah, he can't move. It was still a good matchup, but it was nothing what it could have been in Matt's prime.
Oh yeah. I mean, Matt's also had a weird walking anyway.
Yeah. So, but we all knew Adam Page was going to win this one.
Yes.
It was a nice payoff to the, what was it? I can't remember.
Now we don't have broken Matt Hardy. We've got broke Matt Hardy.
Only for the first quarter.
Yes. Well, now he's broke. We're in quarter 2.
No, he's got that 30% from the private party coming in for every time they're used.
Well, yeah, but that's it's part of next quarter.
But anyway,
in the quarter that we're in now.
It was a nice. We're still in the first quarter, by the way.
Oh, okay.
It's the end of the month.
Ooh, he's still got some time to lose money.
Book
private party.
Yeah. So it was a nice payoff. So when they had that tournament, not that tournament, that battle royale that Adam Page got knocked off of, and the Dark Order caught him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Put me back up," and he flipped over, and then Matt Hardy threw him out.
Yes.
Immediately after.
They redid that spot.
They did that spot, but this time he actually hit the
buckshot lariat,
and to win the matchup. So it was a great little spot call back to that, which was really cool. This was the letdown, the worst match on the card. But for being a worst match on the card, it was still pretty good.
It's still a good match.
Very entertaining overall, which is saying something. But when you look at everything else, yes, this was the one that was the worst match.
You get the Dark Order coming to Adam's rescue, and Adam finally accepting them.
But also the best part was when what's his name from Hybrid 2 comes out, and 10 comes out and just spikes him to get payback for costing him his spot in the Revolutionary Ladder match. Which a nice spot too. And we knew Private Party was going to come out there, never getting involved, only being on the ring and distracting.
Right.
And then they tried to. The Dark Order just pounced, leading to the finish, which was cool. All right, what's the next matchup? Isn't that the ladder match?
Yes, the next up is the ladder match, where I got another point over you.
Yeah. See, as much as I was great, appreciated Scorpio Sky winning this one.
Yes.
To me, the win was not as good as it could have been.
Oh no, but like
the reason why here.
The
reason why is he hasn't been on TV, Dynamite, on a consistent basis in singles consistently. Now, do you need to be there every single week? No, but here's my thing: when they announced 3 people who were automatically in this matchup, and other people had to qualify, and I saw Scorpio Sky didn't have to qualify, I'm like, why?
Because
of his wins on Dark. Go listen to our the debate club about that.
I'm so wishy-washy. I am so vanilla on my opinion regarding the wins and losses on Dark.
So do I. But the thing is, though, when you had the opportunity to give him at least a win on TV to get into the matchup, that way it would have been like, oh, okay, he's in there, great in the spot. He's still the dark horse.
Yeah.
In the matchup, he's not going to win it. And then when he wins it, oh, okay, now this is it, the push for him.
Right.
And he went on and lost the TNT Championship matchup, only to turn heel on Darby Allin.
See, there you go.
So, it'll be interesting to see how his compatriots of SCU.
No, they lost the Battle Royale, so they're no longer a tag team.
They are, because they were scouting on Dynamite. I think they basically said if they lose an actual match, not a battle royale, is what they're gonna be doing it. Is what they're gonna
they're like, well, yeah, but no, it's only if we lose 2 matches in a row.
Tell me, see, that's what I want them to do.
And then a couple of months down the line, they lose 2 in a row, and they're like, well, yeah, but it's only during a full moon. A couple of months down the line.
See, that's what I want to see them do. I want to pull off like a WWE type we say we're going to do this, we're going to lose if we'll stop wrestling. And then they add in you didn't listen to the rest of the stipulation.
Yeah.
If we lose 2 matches back to back, and then the next time they lose back to back.
But only if it's during a full moon.
But one of those matches have to be a pay-per-view level match.
Back to back against the same opponent. And they're like, oh, for crying out loud.
No. You go like one of those has to be a pay-per-view match.
Yes.
And then you go into that's the same opponent. And it's just like, okay, what's going to be the excuse this time when they lose? And so but then you get on a full moon when
at 12 Eastern time.
12 Eastern time. When the wind is blowing north,
the
3 count hits,
No losses in Southern California count, which means that we're going to reset this back to 0 and we're starting over. But we're not in Southern California. SCU is always in Southern California. And they're like, so that means that none of these count. Exactly. That's the plan all along.
We're suing Tony Khan to get those losses taken off our record.
Completely off the record.
They are not official losses.
Because they've all happened in Southern California, and our losses don't count in Southern California. They're like, what?
It'd be such a fun little storyline for Frankie and Christopher.
Finally, someone's just like, seriously, you guys, cut it out.
No, and then they finally, like, when they finally do the blow off to the storyline, it's like in the contract, they lose the pay per view match, and like, well,
all the conditions are met.
And then they said this. They said like, well, we're not gonna split up because you forgot this condition, and the people like no. You see, that contract you signed, we put all your conditions in. And that kind of condition you just said is not on this contract. And there's a specific clause. Even if you had another condition, if it's not in the contract, it does not count. And therefore, you must not wrestle again as a team. So right now they were saying they won't wrestle anymore. But
yeah.
So anyway, this is still the wrestling was great. It was a physical brass ring. To make fun of WWE, which was great.
Little poke. Pokey.
There were some great spots in there. Lance Archer was awesome in this match.
Yes, he was. Penta was great in this match.
And then the surprise of Ethan Page making his AEW debut, which Adam was like, when I got here, he's like, I don't know who Ethan Page is, but I like him. Like, he's one half of the North.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Like, I'm like, derp. Oh, yeah, derp. It's like
the moment you were like, yeah, the North, the tag team. I know.
Yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yep, okay.
I'm just derping over here. Okay.
Derp.
Oh, a good standout in the tag team division from the Battle Royale that stood out for me, Bear Country. Mm-hmm. I was like, I like these hosses. Let's go, hoss.
So, but yeah, it was a good. Overall, the ladder match was a good spot. A great spot for Scorpio Sky, pushing him. Hopefully, we'll see some more good stuff with him now that the heel turn is.
I think he should be He should be go after the TNT Championship now.
Well, yeah,
soon.
Well, he did. He already had this title shot.
Yeah, I know, but
you mean actually go for it again?
Yeah,
I think this is where they're gonna actually they're gonna start building Darby towards more challengers, because a lot of people have been pointing out that he hasn't been defending it and he shouldn't have the belt anymore. He should be dropped it. And he even called out that when he was talking about the building up to that matchup, the vision and everything. He understands that, but now with Scorpio Sky, that new direction, we're gonna apparently start seeing more of that.
Good.
I think what they wanted to do is they just we don't want to overburden him, overexpose Darby.
Yes.
And him defending like Cody did, overexposes Darby. But when you establish your championship that's defended consistently, not every week like we've said, because it's not attacking a TV channel. It was an open challenge.
I really feel though that the TNT Championship should be defended appropriately for the title holder.
No, I think the TNT Championship needs to be defended at least twice a month.
Okay.
Because it gives that mid-card championship, you're having a consistent number of challengers.
Yeah, that's true.
To be challenging for it. Yes, you want to be build the storylines up for pay-per-views, because WWE has not defended the title on a pay-per-view yet.
Yeah.
But Cody only defended the title on one pay-per-view.
That's true.
Because Mr. Brody Lee did not won it right before All Out. And then Cody won it back, and then he defended it at Full Gear. So that's something I do want to see, is the TNT Championship, making sure it's defended on all pay-per-views going forward.
Okay.
But it was still good matchup. All right, what's the next matchup?
All right, next up was the street fight of Brian Cage and Ricky Starks versus Darby Allin and Sting.
This was not a street fight. This was a cinematic match. Doesn't count. We're moving on. It was terrible. Absolutely. I mean, they had a stand-in for Sting. Come on.
They did not have a stand-in for Sting.
I know. Because a lot of people were predicting this was going to be a cinematic matchup, and then it wasn't announced that way. Eventually, right before Revolution's like I think on Saturday it was announced it was recorded previously. But then we saw them like, oh no, they recorded this way before.
Yeah.
They just didn't announce that.
Yeah.
But it was a really cool setup.
It's in whatever warehouse they've been doing the other vignettes from.
But it was a great little thing to see there. Brian Cage dominating Darby from the start.
Yep.
Sting dominating Ricky Starks from the start.
Yep.
Both being there. Starks predicting to Sting, like, you prove us wrong that you don't need the bat, Sting, and he throws it up to the where Brian Cage and Darby seem to be fighting towards. Which I figured that was going to be Darby was going to get the bat and start using it on Cage. He did, just not on Cage. He grabbed it and threw it to Sting for the end.
Yes.
Before diving off onto Cage through the abyss.
Great spots in there.
Yeah, it was
I gotta say this: Sting moved better in this cinematic match than The Undertaker did against AJ Styles.
That's interesting to know.
Yeah,
But overall, it was still a good matchup.
But that's my opinion.
I knew that Hook, Taz's son, and Powerhouse Hobbs were gonna show up
Yes.
because you haven't seen them. Taz was banned from there, but I think he's like
He was on commentary.
But he's like, I have
we have a backup plan. We have a plan.
We knew what the plan was. Just because you weren't there doesn't mean they weren't going to be there.
Yeah, they all knew about this.
I love how someone called Tony Cervante called out Taz for like choking people out, and Taz was like, it was one, and he deserved it. You know, talking about Cody.
Yeah.
Like, so I was like,
He
and Cody did, and he did deserve it. But it was a good matchup. I'm not into the cinematic matches, but it was one of the better cinematic matches. So, all right, what's the next matchup?
And time for the main event. It is the AEW Heavyweight Championship.
It's
Is it
not
the
a heavyweight championship.
World
it's a World
Championship?
Championship.
World Championship. Kenny Omega taking on Jon Moxley in an exploding barbed wire death match.
Yes. The match. This matchup was interesting. The rules were stated that the match, every time you hit the ropes with barbed wire, explosions happened.
Yes.
If you landed on a platform, explosions happened. And after 30 minutes, if no one had won, all the bombs would go off. And if anyone survived, the first person who got a pinfall submission then would win. And we all knew it wasn't going to go to the explosion thing.
No.
We knew we're going to get it, but we weren't going to end it in that way. Going back and forth, Moxie looking strong, Moxie blading to get busted open.
Yeah.
Coming back, beating up Kenny.
I only caught that on the second watch through.
Yeah. And then it was a good overall back and forth. We all knew Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson were going to come out and help out and eventually.
Well, of course.
It was great to see that Moxie get some payback on them beating them down.
Yep.
And then but they're handing Kenny his special weapon, the exploding barbed wire baseball bat.
Yes. That was awesome.
That was awesome. And one of the best spots to break up a pinfall in a protected finisher, when Moxie kicked the ropes to blind Omega after hitting the One Wing Angel. It's not a kick out.
Now, at the same time, that was after Kenny charged at Mox and he locked in basically a headlock.
Mm-hmm.
But their momentum carried them into the ropes, which was an explosion on Kenny's face.
This was a different one.
Okay. Oh no, I know that, but that happened first.
That happened first. No, where I'm talking about the actual One Ring Angel.
Yes.
And then Moxie kicked it to break the pin without kicking out.
Yeah, I know.
Because no one kicks out the One Ring Angel. It's a way to get Kenny not to win
Okada hasn't even kicked out of it.
No, he's got his foot on the ropes.
Yeah.
And it just fell on the ropes.
That is an incredibly protected finisher.
Yes, it is.
So Hangman Page is going to be the first person to kick out of it.
It was a great little spot there to use the death explosions and all that.
Yes.
But we got to talk about the ending.
Look.
So
it was okay.
So the finish ended with Moxley getting beat up. One Ring Angel. Kenny wins.
Yep.
Then they beat him up
Handcuff him.
Handcuff him. As the sound goes off, that it's 1 minute left because the bombs are still ticking away.
30 seconds left. Yeah, even though Kenny won, since there was a winner, that should have canceled the timer.
It was all part of their plan to get rid of Moxley.
Yes.
So then it counts down. They get out of the ring, waiting for, and as they're leaving,
Kingston comes running in.
And the Butcher and the Blade are trying to stop him, but he runs in, can't get down and out Moxley because the body weight covers him. And that was all. And the fans were like, bullshit. Like they were booing the explosion.
Like all of the other stuff up to this point has been slightly toned down versions of what you would expect out of a exploding barbed wire death match.
Yeah, in Japan, you actually literally removed the ropes.
Yes.
And put only barbed wire.
They didn't do that. But I mean,
No.
At the same time, this is supposedly built by Kenny.
Yes. So fans were booing it. A lot of people were pointing out how Moxley and Kingston sold it. Like
Kingston sold the shit out of that.
Because they didn't know how bad it went.
Yeah.
And it just made it
because
fizzle.
they're not looking and there is still a bang.
It just they were like trying to sell it. Though Kingston's explanation saying the reason why he didn't move was because he passed out because of how much he about fear of losing his friend or something like that.
Yeah.
He gave another story of how he passed out before, and this was another thing, and that's why he sold it. Again, Kingston can sell you his own shit, and you think it's the greatest chocolate on the face of the planet, even though it smells like shit.
That was one of my ideas, is that, as soon as I saw the ending, I was like, all right, now I got to jump on the boards and be like, hey guys, let's talk about this. And a lot of people were pissed off that Kingston sold it so much.
Yeah.
And they were like, I pointed out, and I saw a number of other people point this out. You can sell this as Kingston. The reason that he sold that heavily is because he passed out. So much adrenaline. You are literally in the ring that is supposed to explode.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't, it's like it's one of the it's a version of torture of a guard coming up and putting a gun to your head, pulling the trigger, and nothing happens. You're going to have a moment where your heart skipped because you thought you were going to die. So Kingston passed out like that.
So the in-ring storyline was apparently it was Kenny's fault.
Well, of course.
Tony Khan pointed this out. Kenny backstage was furious that the bomb didn't work with it. Like, he was extremely pissed off. So the story of what happened with it is they did test a bomb before the Revolution to make sure it would work, and it did fine. And then the one that they actually used was a dud. Apparently there was some issues with the company who they hired to put this together.
Yeah.
And not being really happy with, like being kind of lackadaisical or something like that. It just basically, there's a bunch of heat on that company. But then Kenny and Don Callis came out on Dynamite and basically said, "Well, glad you guys didn't like that there was you booed the explosion. You guys wanted a big explosion. I'm glad you didn't get one. Basically,
we didn't give you it.
We didn't give it to you. You didn't get what you wanted.
See,
and so fuck all of you."
That's what I like about this heel version of Kenny's. He's like, no, you want that? I'm not giving it to you. You wanted me to explain to everyone why I teamed up with Don Callis and screwed Moxley over and get the hell out of here and went to Impact. I'm not telling you that. That's what you want. I'm not doing that. You wanted the big explosion. I'm not giving you the big explosion. By the way, I'm super pissed off that we did not have a big explosion.
But backstage, I'm really pissed. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to be telling you that, guys.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Bad. I'm so sorry. Forget I ever said that.
Forget that I'm an executive vice president within this company. I have control over a large number of things.
Yes.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
You see, Gallows leaned forward. Forget about it. Seriously, you. I see you. You right there. I'm coming for you.
But no, I mean, yes, it was a downer for how the pay-per-view ended. It's a downside. It's a downside because all people who hate AEW for because it's not WWE have something to point out at. But they did a very good job in way of explaining it, which is good. But yeah, it's kind of on there. But we gotta talk about the
What?
sixth man, because we already talked about the sixth man.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about the Hall of Fame level signee
Yes.
to AEW. And can we get a drum roll, please?
Nope.
And
we
that
don't
is
have that. I
I'm
don't
just-
really have that ability.
who's the editor here? That's me.
Oh, editor, can you put that in starting now?
I was gonna put that in because I'm the editor. Way to talk to me. I think I'm not even in the room. I see how. This is why I asked for my release.
No.
Right here.
Look.
Anyway, it was Brock Lesnar to AEW. Oh, my bad.
Wow,
That
really,
was,
dude?
That was a bad one. I'm sorry. I was like CM Punk to AEW. No,
dude,
that's another
dude,
one.
He actually said earlier in the night that he was not the person coming out.
Wait, then who was it?
Christian Cage, Captain Charisma, the man looking for his peeps.
That's a disappointment.
The man who has shown up to outwork everyone.
Everyone who was expecting Brock Lesnar or CM Punk, you hyped yourselves up too much.
That's on you.
That was on you.
Christian made the most sense.
If you don't think Christian Cage had a Hall of Fame level career, you're a fucking idiot.
His tag team run with Edge alone
Is Hall of Fame.
is Hall of Fame worthy. His then work in TNA
Yep.
as a solo person is worth it. His work when he came back,
With ECW with the ECW championship was great work.
his work with Chris Jericho as a tag team, his work with, I believe it was that was Jericho's show.
Yeah.
I was like Christian and Big Show. I don't think they ever teamed up.
His run when he won the world championship
Yes.
after Edge had retire, like he had a great career. Then you go into TNA where he had a big impact over there.
Yes, he did.
Pun intended.
Ha ha.
But like he has a Hall of Fame level career, and the fact that WWE did not have him locked down after the Royal Rumble, after the reaction he got for coming back,
I know.
is surprising. And even he's talked about how fast that it happened because he was like looking at he had some gas back in him after getting ready and getting cleared.
Yep.
And he even mentions like how he had talks with John Moxley. Him and John had become really good friends.
Yeah.
And John talking about how good it is over there. And probably around the time that John Moxley said, I'd love to see Christian Cage come over here.
Right around that time. Yeah.
Probably. And then him and Tony Khan are good friends. They became friends 7 years ago, right when Christian retired.
Yes.
And he's always loved him. And he reached out and he's like, because John made him actually think, maybe I should really think about looking at my options. And things.
Do I have another run in me?
No, he already knew. He was looking.
Oh yeah, but like
no, he was looking at wrestling a lot more.
Oh, okay.
At this point.
Well, I mean, I don't blame him for being like, "Hey, WWE, what's up? How you doing?"
Yeah, it's understandable why Edge is not going to be wrestling as much because of his neck.
Right.
Christian had concussion issues, but it's different than a neck.
It wasn't.
It's not. But anyway, when he started talking to Khan, it took a week and they had a deal. 1 week.
1 week.
That's how fast it went. Once they started talking to Tony Khan, they had a deal. Paul White's contract took longer to put together with AEW.
Wow.
So, but yeah, so if you're disappointed that Christian Cage came over and he was a big surprise and doesn't live up, you're a moron.
I'm sorry, Christian. I've always enjoyed him.
Yeah. It looks like his first program
Yeah.
is with Kenny Omega.
I know. Right away.
So I think what they're going to do is they're going to build towards Christian Cage versus Kenny at Double or Nothing. Because I think Kenny's next challenger is going to be Eddie Kingston.
All right.
This way Christian can go through, get some wins. You know, that win-loss record.
Right.
You don't just come in because you have a big name and get a title shot.
No.
You have to be you have to have the wins. This is a fight. You actually have to have the record to get a championship shot. So, that would be a better way to do it. He comes in, he starts wrestling, he gets some wins. then he gets the title shot at Double or Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, you have Eddie Kingston, who is coming out for payback for Moxley.
Yes.
He can get another title shot.
And the way, like, his title shot should just kind of come as one of those last minute. I want to,
No.
Kenny. He's asking. He doesn't start off asking for a championship match. He just wants to get his hands on Kenny.
Yeah.
And then someone just, he's just like, you know what? Put the belt up. I don't even care. Or Kenny's like, I'll put the belt up. I don't even care.
No, you can just build it around as you're building towards the when the match is going to happen. Is Eddie Kingston starts to build the there. You can do a number one contenders thing when he wins. Once he get him break the top 5 if he's not there already, and then have him like win a number one contenders matchup. Then there you go. You have it.
Boom. Boom. Right there.
But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our review of AEW Revolution. Let us know down in the comment section what you thought of the show. Do you think it sizzled or fizzled? Oh, as much as that main event did fizzle out because of the explosion, it was still a great show.
Match all the way up to that point.
Not even that. It was a great show overall. Yeah. Especially with the greatest thing ever happening on the buy-in, saying you have to pay attention to it. Maki Ito, the cutest wrestler in the world,
with the most foulest of mouths.
Yes. And a great use of vocabulary.
Yes.
With some sign language. Steve Austin would be proud.
He is very proud.
Let us know down in the comment section. Answer that there. Give us your rating. What would you rate this show overall? Since you made it to the end of this review, why don't you go and give this video a thumbs up?
Hey,
You're clearly liking what we're talking about.
We didn't say whether or not we thought it was sizzling or fizzling.
I know, because I haven't gotten there.
Okay.
Yeah. Way to kill the buzz, dude. You buzz killer. This is why I'm leaving. This is why I asked for my release.
All right.
Anyway, since you made it to the end of this and you're liking it and you commented, why don't you give this video a thumbs up? There you go, Adam. Give it a thumbs up. The good boy. Even though your face is hideous. Oh, little sign language. Okay, I can get some back there. Oh, I have some double sign language right there.
Have I shown you this? Right here?
I think, Adam, you got something in your eye. Oh, both eyes, I think. There you go. Anyway, since it's right there, why don't you go and hit that subscribe button.
Ding.
Ring that bell.
Hey, Tim. Ding. Ding.
What? Make sure it's the one that turns on all notifications so you know when all Zop Gaming content and as the buckle turn goes live. Just not Nua. It sucks. Adam, your face get bent. Bye.